It is considered the political undercard, the vice presidential debate.
I think vice presidential debates often are more interesting to watch. The stakes are lower. The participants feel a little freer to say and do what they want.
Wednesday's debate between Republican Vice President Mike Pence and Democratic Senator Kamala Harris has multiple storylines that make it more interesting and watchable.
The historic nature of Kamala Harris's nomination and the fact that a woman of color, first woman of color on a major party ticket, will be debating.
Geraldine Ferrara was the first woman to participate in a vice presidential debate, facing George Herbert Walker Bush, Ronald Reagan's running mate, in 1984.
So I remember there being tremendous concern about the way Vice President Bush should debate the first female on a presidential ticket. And he could be, at times, a very competitive man and certainly was a very good debater, knew his material very well, but didn't want to look as though he was bullying her in any way.
In 2008, voters were eager to see Sarah Palin debate Joe Biden.
The expectations for that Biden-Palin vice presidential debate were so great. It's the only time in presidential debate history that the vice presidential debate had more viewers than the top of the ticket presidential debates. And those top of the ticket debates were not snoozers because they included Barack Obama in terms of historic debates.
Now, President Trump's COVID diagnosis is increasing already high expectations for the Pence-Harris debate.
Vice President Pence was the head of the coronavirus task force. Originally, Trump seemed to sort of take it over from him. But certainly the Harris campaign will be going right for Pence on coronavirus concerns and talk about all the things that they think he did to not handle this as well as he could have.
Mary Kate Carey is a senior fellow at the University of Virginia's Miller Center.
She's got a reputation for being a very aggressive questioner in the Senate Judiciary Committee. She's known for sort of laying these traps and trying to bait people to respond. So she will be a very formidable debater, I think. Pence, on the other hand, is a pretty unflappable guy to the point of sometimes not being very animated at all. The chances of him falling into any sort of trap are pretty small. But I also think he's got an audience of one.
His illness aside, President Trump is age 74. Joe Biden is 77. This vice presidential debate has future implications.
If Mike Pence has another good debate in 2020, as he did 4 years ago, then that really helps strengthen his position as the Republican nominee in 2024. And the same with Kamala Harris, who's obviously, young enough to have a long-term ambition here.
But too much focus on 4 years from now risks losing sight of the main debate objective: defend the presidential candidate they are running with.
I think that we'll see Kamala Harris prosecuting why the Trump should not be returned to office, and then Pence having to defend the record for the past 4 years. And so that will be, I think, an interesting debate to watch.
The vice presidential candidates meet Wednesday evening in Salt Lake City, Utah. Steve Reddish, VOA News, Washington.